Hey y'all! Welcome to the Hathor Experience YouTube channel. Peace. I am Hathor Hendricks and this is my YouTube channel. I have committed and I am dedicated, absolutely dedicated to documenting the next year of my life here on YouTube every single Monday. So if you want to tune in, go ahead and like this video and subscribe to my YouTube channel. It's gonna be a blast. I'm really looking forward to opening up and sharing my life with people. I'm an introvert, so this vulnerability thing is new to me, but it can be new to us together. Maybe. So I've been watching YouTube channels and I hate it when people ramble on and on and on. So I'm not going to be that person. I'm going to be the change that I wish to see on YouTube. So we're going to hop right into today's episode of the Hathor Experience. So I actually want to talk about mindfulness and meditation, and I want to talk about suffering. Because right now, with everything going on in the world, there is so much suffering in the world. So I definitely wanted to touch on suffering today. Speaking of suffering, I was inspired to do this today by my time at a Vipassana meditation retreat. And Vipassana meditation is actually a 10-day silent meditation retreat. All you're basically doing is meditating for 10 days straight. Now, as an introvert, not being around people really isn't that difficult for me. However, no music, no reading, no writing, no cell phone, so I can't work. It's just me and me for 10 days. No music was the hardest. I love music, so it was hard for me. But I love a good challenge. I love to challenge myself. I feel like Ash Ketchum, from Pokemon. Da-da-da, I wanna be the very best, like no one ever was. Da, 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 da. So I totally just nerded out. So if you know the song, sing along. If not, we're rolling. We are moving right along. But I really want to be the best version of me that I can be. And I know that I have to do things that I may be uncomfortable with or things that challenge who I am now for who I am becoming. So I was really excited to challenge myself to do this. I was inspired by Linda Jones, who is actually an author, a writer, a poet, an actress, just an overall amazing human being who really inspires me. Being an introvert, I've always loved to read, and because I've loved to read, it actually turned into me being a pretty decent writer. My love for creative writing was sparked in high school. I won't tell you what high school I went to because I don't know y'all yet. But if you know which high school I went to, you know. If you know, you know. However, there was a teacher there, and her name was Karen Forte, and she actually taught creative writing, and everyone that was in her class loved it because she was one of those adults that actually seen us as people and listened to our opinions and listened to what was on our minds and allowed us to express ourselves. And in high school, when you're growing into yourself and you're in those awkward stages, adults like that are few, far, and in between. So my love for creative writing was stemmed in high school. And Linda Jones actually inspired me to continue writing. She was actually doing a workshop at the Oak Cliff Cultural Center. So if you're actually in the Dallas area, check out the cultural center nearest to you. They always have a lot of really cool, culturally enriching things going on there. And they're even doing a lot of virtual stuff. So y'all go ahead and check out y'all's cultural centers. But they were doing a creative writing workshop midday. I work for myself, so I have pretty flexible hours. So I went there and I was just completely enamored of her. I was just so impressed. She's just clever and articulate and witty and funny and cultured and I'm not going to go there because she might get embarrassed, but I think you're really cool. But she inspired me because she actually wrote an article about the time that she spent at a Vipassana meditation center. And I was so moved and intrigued by that article that I was like, you know what? I think I could sign up for that. So I did. It took a little convincing. I had to kind of go around and check around and kind of get a little feedback from people who had experienced it, watched a couple of YouTube videos, and I was like, all right, I could do this. I could do this. So I did it. And I wanted to share with you in this time of suffering some things that I've learned about suffering, as well as some things that I have learned to help to combat that. So here we go. First of all, Vipassana meditation is to see things as they really are. So that's what that translates into, to see things as they really are. Not how you want them to be, not how they used to be, not how they could be, but as they are, to see things as they really are. And it was facilitated by volunteers, but the main guy there who would lead meditations was S.N. Goenka. So, according to S.N. Goenka, there are 3 causes, or Buddha, I can't remember, y'all. Look, don't come in at me after the comments. You can feel free to do your own research. I am only a vessel. I am only the catalyst. If you want to know more information, do research. You got a phone, just like you watched this video. You can look it up. Anywho, 3 causes of suffering. That's cravings, aversion, and ignorance. So no matter what you're suffering from, no matter what you're going through personally, not looking at the world like, well, what about world hunger? What about this? Well, what about that? Well, what about the children? Well, what about you? We're talking about you for a second. The 3 roots of suffering for you that we create within ourselves intrinsically are cravings, aversions, and ignorance. So let's talk about cravings. Let's break it on down. Cravings. Again, I want this. I'm here, but I want to be there. I have this, but I want that. Those are cravings. You not truly appreciating the present moment because you are craving something else. And if you're craving something else, you aren't paying attention. You're not fully present. Think of it this way. I know y'all know that whole Snickers thing, you're not yourself when you're hungry. It's true. You're not yourself when you're hungry. Craving is another way of yearning. I don't have this. And if you already think that you don't have it because you're craving it, of course, it's going to lead to suffering. So first we have cravings. Next, we have aversions. I don't know who exactly they are, but whoever they are, they say that your success is just outside of your comfort zone. But oftentimes, things that make us uncomfortable, we avert them. We don't want to deal with them. Oh, don't like that. Oh, don't want to deal with that. Oh, don't want to see that. So we're basically sabotaging our growth and the level up. Because at the first sign of something being out of alignment, or at the first sign of something being challenging or difficult, or you just don't want to deal with it, you avert it. So maybe the cause of your suffering is you being in denial that you are suffering and not actually facing it head on. Again, this is a 10-day meditation. So you're taking 10 days away from everything to get into yourself, to see what's really going on, to see things as they really are. And what helps you to see something as it really is? The mirror. Moving on, number 3 is ignorance. Having no knowledge of, being completely unaware. They say ignorance is bliss, but ignorance is more like a prison. It's a prison of the mind because you want to get further, you want to go higher, but you don't even know that it's an option. I would even say ignorance is stagnation. You know, ignorance could even be death. If you don't know what's around the corner and you just right? So those are the three causes of suffering: cravings, aversions, and ignorance. And I challenge you to kind of write down what you've been craving, what you've been averting, and what you have no idea is even going on. And that ignorance is kicking that butt. But moving on, because I like solutions. We can't just be all woe is me, okay? Energy is neither created nor destroyed, only transferred and transformed. So we want to transform that suffering into liberation. That's right. To not give what a think of me. Now that's liberation, and baby, I want it. Liberation. Shout out to Outkast. So I came up with 3 tools of liberation, and I will definitely go more in depth in these with my stress management class. So stay tuned for those. And the 3 tools of liberation are awareness, understanding, and accountability. Okay? I'm going to hit you with that one more time. Awareness, understanding, and accountability are the 3 tools of liberation. First, there's awareness. If we leave off with ignorance, with the roots of suffering, we have to pick up where we left off with that. And the antidote to ignorance is awareness, becoming aware. Oftentimes, we don't even take into account, because we're averting it, that the common denominator is ourselves. Are we being made aware of our bad decisions, of our bad habits, of the part that we play in our lives as well as others that we interact with? That awareness. Next is understanding. Oftentimes we try to skip right past that awareness, right? I want to know why. Well, I just don't understand. Well, if you're unaware, how could you possibly understand? But once you have that awareness, they say when you know better, you do better. So first, the awareness comes. Then the understanding comes. Oh, so this is why I do that. Because of this. Oh, well, I see that this triggers me and this causes me to. But again, first awareness, then understanding. Actually applying knowledge and comprehension to what you've just been made aware of. And lastly, accountability. Yes, we have preachers, teachers, mentors, gurus, life coaches, therapists, homegirls, homeboys. We have all of these people who can be our accountability buddies, maybe guide us in the right direction, but at the end of the day, it's up to you. We're going to go back to Outkast because I love music. So another line in that liberation song is to have a choice to be who you want to be is left up to me. And my mom and them told me, like, it's true. And you have to hold yourself accountable to become the person that you want to be. It's no one else's job. So once you're sitting here suffering, you have those cravings. Oh, I wish I could be this. I wish I could be that. You have those aversions. Oh, I wish I could be this, but I don't want to have to deal with that. Well, I want to go over here, but I don't want to have to do it if I got to do that. And lastly, the ignorance. Do you even know what it takes to get to where you're going? Do you even know how you're going to get to where you're going? And then we flip it to that liberation. So in order to backdoor that ignorance, we have to have awareness. Now that you've been made aware of it, comprehending, understanding, what have I been made aware of? And that accountability. Now, what am I going to do about it? Because it's up to you to become who you want to be. So if you want to lose that weight, accountability is hiring that trainer. Accountability is getting up early in the morning to make sure you do what you have to do. If you want to leave that job, accountability is filling out those resumes. Accountability is getting out there and networking if you're an entrepreneur like me. But you have to empower yourselves because no one else can do it for you. So again, we're not thinking on a huge world level with this. That's not the reason that the world is suffering. We're talking about you and your existence. Okay? So that's it. That's all I got. And again, I'm no expert. This is just my experience. And this is my channel, The Hathor Experience. Thank you so much for your ears. If you're feeling it again, like, subscribe, comment. If you want to know more about my Vipassana adventure, please let me know down in the comments and I would love to elaborate. But I hope you have a wonderful week and I will see you next Monday. Peace.